Once the booths have been set up, the agility team kicks into high gear to deliver the goods whenever the exhibitors fly into town.
Most challenging aspect, I should say, is to have the goods delivered on time to the exhibitors at a very short pace of time and a very limited space. Exhibition hall it's really tight.
Everything's been where it was supposed to be. Yeah, all happy, sorted the stand out and virtually finished now.
Events logistics is a service-oriented industry. Understanding different cultures go a long way. It goes without saying that last-minute requests are par for course.
In events, we should expect the unexpected. Like right now, in this case, we are transferring around 300 boxes for the organizers to the various registration points. Yeah? So we have to activate our guys immediately to have this delivered on time.
Iskandar does not just focus on local events and exhibitions. He makes frequent trips all over the world, courtesy of his job.
Most memorable show, I should say Dubai Air Show. I have the opportunity to actually be up in an A380 and up in the cockpit with the pilot, and I think that itself was really interesting, yeah, for me, knowing that some areas are restricted to the others, and for me, I have the opportunity to actually venture out where most people can't.
Building 2 temporary outdoor suites that can take the weight of 250 and 150 people respectively in the middle of a golf course requires more than just engineering expertise. From transporting the huge amount of fabrication material onto the undulating and inaccessible terrain to taking safety precautions due to ongoing golf activities. These are some of the logistical challenges involved. This is the 4th year Denise Kong is handling this sport event at Tanah Merah Country Club. The senior account manager from PICO has been keeping tabs on the weather conditions for the past few weeks.
Contingency planning is very important. We need to act fast, as in like if let's say, for example, due to bad weather conditions, we need to coordinate with my workers, maybe to start off with doing different works for the different areas. Yeah, instead of doing all the outdoor works, we will actually make planning, as in like to arrange my workers to do the indoor works rather than doing the outdoor works, so that we can try to speed up the process.
Thankfully, sunny skies are back after a bout of rain over several days delayed the progress. The workers toiled tirelessly and now they are back on schedule. For the past several weeks, the project team has been solving operational issues on the ground. Despite the irregular hours, Denise enjoys the challenges.
It's the challenge and the exposure. Basically, you get to learn a lot from different industries, and at the same time, you know, maybe like for now, I'm actually doing an outdoor events, sports events, but maybe tomorrow I might be flying off to other countries to do different exhibitions for my different clients.
Prior to this project, Denise knows nothing about golf. These days, however, this amateur golfer has picked up a tip or two from watching the world's best. Who says events logistics is all work and no play? The moving story of Simba the Lion will finally make its debut in Singapore come March. Preparations started months in advance. The backstage of the Sands Theatre at the Marina Bay Sands is a constant whirl of activity. From the endless rounds of rehearsals to creating the perfect fit for the performers and adding the final touches to the puppets. More than 100 people are involved in the production of The Lion King. For the stage setup period, 3 containers of equipment are unloaded every day for nearly 2 weeks. Over 80 people work 14 hours every day during fitting of the stage. From fixing lights to installing sound equipment and the props used in different scenes of the show, the responsibility falls on technical director Richard Martin. And Richard is clearly a man on a mission.
Yeah, it is a high-stress job. I mean, there's been over 80 people here working backstage and with local logistics companies, freight companies, customs, the challenges of the Marina Bay Sands. There's a lot of people rely on you each day to have the schedule and have the support there. So what I need them to do is pass their problems on to me so I can solve them for them, so they can do their duties.
Richard first cut his teeth with Opera Australia at the Sydney Opera House in 1979. 20 years later, Richard started his own company, providing technical direction and management for many well-known shows. He has been involved with The Lion King since 2003 and helped in the setup in Shanghai, Johannesburg and Taipei. Each new venue presents new challenges.
It's like building a house on a new block of land. Every time there's always a challenge. Might be the same house, but different block of land's a different challenge.
Just installing the floor of the stage took 3 days.
So what we have here, this is what we call the Lion King rake. This is the rake stage, which goes up to just over 1 metre at the back when the performers are performing on it. We have nearly 40 tonne of steel here and hydraulics. There's very large hydraulic rams underneath that lift this stage up and down. They're capable of lifting it up and down with scenery on it and with all the cast on it as well, dancing away in the show. So as you see, it's quite thick. There's a lot of construction here.
Elephant Graveyard, one of the key props, requires the effort of 10 men for half a day.
Well, the Elephant Graveyard is made of steel and fiberglass and a lot of carving. What this does, as we take it out of the containers, it's laid in specially prepared trolleys to keep it safe. And when we bring it in, we hang some chain motors, some rigging in the air to lift these off their trolleys, and then we put the wheels in underneath, bolt it all together, and voila, Elephant Graveyard.
The audience will never know how much work was involved in staging of The Lion King. These workers are truly the supporting cast of the show.
I think the favourite part of the job is when the first audience sees the show for the first time and they stand and applaud and they get some enjoyment out of it, whether it be a young child or an older elderly person. To see the smiles on people's face, enjoyment, you think, wow, I was a part of making that person happy.
Chingay Parade 2011 is all of 2 hours long. But the preparations involved usually takes more than a year, given the items and the sheer number of performers from various organizations. It is, in short, a massive logistical challenge. The first hurdle the team at People's Association or PA has to overcome is transporting the floats from where they are partially made to where the performance will be held. It takes a day to prepare for the move of 11 floats. The floats are securely fastened and any features that may cause obstruction on the road are removed. Moving these oversized vehicles on public roads require relevant permits from the Land Transport Authority. Due to the size of the convoy, 2 trips are made. The floats have to be escorted by auxiliary police and the exact route has to be determined in advance.
We will have to do a site recce with the contractor to make sure that these roads are passable to the floats. Basically, the turning radius must be big enough, the height restriction must be self-contained, and we must adhere to all the on-road requirements. And of course, before we move the vehicles out, we have to make sure that all the parts are properly secured. The drivers and the technicians supporting the escort are properly briefed of all the safety requirements.
Depending on the design of the floats, some drivers do not have a clear view of the road. As such, there are guides who direct the drivers. For other drivers, they depend on a monitor to see both the front and back views. The brightly lit convoy attracted passers-by who stopped to snap pictures. After an hour's drive, all the floats reached destination safely. This is the first time a gigantic red cloth, which measures 240 meters by 12 meters, will be used by 160 PA youth members as part of the finale item. This cloth is actually sewn together by smaller pieces. Inappropriate handling of the cloth, coupled with strong winds, may cause it to tear. As such, the organizers have to think of ways to solve the problem.
OK， 你看，因为这布的质地很薄，如果一不小心就破了。现在已经破了4个洞，所以回头我们每一天的rehearsal完呢，就是要把它缝。就有一组人专门来修理这红布，一组人专门来这个保护这个红布，一直到正式演出。
Another finale item involves using 4,000 sky lanterns, which are actually balloons filled with helium. Each lantern comes with an LED light and a Velcro strap for the performer to secure it to his or her wrist. Just inflating the balloons and securing them at various locations is a full day's work.
Each of these balloons actually measures 60 cm by 60 cm. So space-wise, we actually have this constraint as to where to house them. So we have to find different spots around the parade route as well as around the parade area itself to actually tie them and make sure that they are secured. And of course, the other challenge that we face is being outdoors, the parade being outdoor. The balloons will actually be subject to strong winds and as well as rain and things like that. So we have to be very mindful of that.
From the sky lanterns to the red cloth to the float transportation, all these require meticulous planning. For the organizers, the effort is well worth it. The calendar of events is often packed to the brim. The work for events logistics players is endless. Thanks to their dedication, we can enjoy a performance or close a business deal.
Having 20 years in this business, I'm still learning.
You need to remain calm when you face any unforeseen circumstances.
The sense of achievement when after a hard day's work, when the show starts, you see all the stands are up, all the happy faces from the exhibitors.